Did you know that samurai duels weren't just fights? They were highly ritualized events governed by strict rules, manners, and a deep understanding of life and death? When most people think of samurai, they imagine swift sword strikes, deadly precision, and honorable combat. But behind the thrilling surface of combat lay a complex code of conduct shaped by centuries of warrior culture, philosophy, and social hierarchy. In this video, we'll explore how samurai approached duels, the rules they followed, the manners and etiquette they observed, and their unique perspective on life and death. 1. The purpose of a samurai duel. Contrary to Hollywood portrayals, samurai duels were not mere brawls for pride or entertainment. They served several important purposes: resolving disputes, land conflicts, personal grievances, or matters of honor could be settled through a formal duel. Testing skill. A duel was a way to demonstrate martial prowess and gain recognition among peers, maintaining honor. In a culture that valued honor above life, dueling was a socially acceptable method to defend one's reputation. The duel wasn't about chaos. It was structured, ceremonial, and deeply symbolic. Every movement, bow, and strike carried meaning. 2. Preparing for the duel. Before a duel began, preparation was meticulous. Selection of place duels were often conducted in secluded gardens, clearings, or dojo spaces. Public attention was discouraged, though witnesses were sometimes present. Weapons choice. Samurai typically used swords, either their katana or wakizashi. Occasionally, spears or other traditional weapons could be chosen depending on the agreement. Mental preparation. Samurai would meditate, focusing on calmness, clarity, and acceptance of possible death. The duel was as much psychological as it was physical. Even the clothing mattered. Kimono sleeves were adjusted, belts tightened, and armor removed, if agreed upon, to ensure fairness and freedom of movement. 3. Rules of engagement. Samurai duels followed specific rules, passed down through oral tradition and martial schools. Start with the bow combatants. Always bow to each other to acknowledge respect and equality. Honor the agreed-upon weapons. No surprise switches or hidden weapons. Observe distance and timing. Samurai were expected to maintain proper distance, avoid cheap shots, and demonstrate timing and strategy. Prohibit attacks after surrender. If one participant yielded or dropped their weapon, further attacks were forbidden. Witnesses and referees. In some cases, respected figures or instructors observed to ensure fairness. Breaking these rules wasn't just dishonorable. It could bring shame to one's family and clan. 4. The role of manners and etiquette. Etiquette, or rei-li, was central to every duel. The samurai believed that behavior before, during, and after combat reflected one's character. Before the duel, bowing, polite gestures, and formal announcements set the tone. During the duel, fighting was controlled, avoiding unnecessary cruelty. Over-aggressiveness could be seen as barbaric. After the duel, regardless of victory or defeat, participants often bowed again, sometimes exchanging words of respect. Manners reinforced the idea that dueling was a disciplined act, not a personal vendetta. 5. Death and life in a samurai duel. One of the most striking aspects of samurai dueling was their relationship with mortality, acceptance of death. Samurai trained to embrace the possibility of dying in battle, following the principles of Bushido, calmness under threat. Fear could cloud judgment, so a composed mind was considered essential. Symbolic victory. Sometimes defeating an opponent without killing them was seen as a higher achievement, demonstrating control and mastery. Philosophical texts of the era emphasized that life and death were transient. The duel was a test, not just of skill, but of one's readiness to confront impermanence. 6. Famous examples of samurai duels. Throughout history, samurai duels varied from simple contests of skill to legendary battles. Miyamoto Musashi versus Sasaki Kojiro, one of the most famous duels, where Musashi's clever strategy and psychological tactics led to victory. Small-scale duels in clans. Many duels resolved disputes quietly, following the established rules, leaving little historical record but reinforcing the cultural code. These examples show that dueling was both an art and a reflection of samurai culture. 7. Lessons from samurai duels. Even today, samurai duels teach important lessons. Discipline matters. The structure of the duel ensured skill, and etiquette guided the fight. Respect for others. Bowing, acknowledging opponents and adhering to rules preserved honor. Embrace of impermanence. Samurai trained to face life and death with clarity, a mindset applicable beyond combat. Mastery over self. True victory was often over fear and emotion, not just the opponent. Conclusion. Samurai duels were more than sword fights. They were a ritualized dance of skill, respect, and philosophy, rules, manners, and the acceptance of life and death, all combined to create a system where honor mattered more than mere survival. Through these duels, we can glimpse the soul of the samurai, a world where bravery, etiquette, and philosophical depth intersected in a blade's flash. Even today, the lessons of these duels resonate. Discipline, respect, and courage are timeless values. So next time you think of a samurai fight, remember, it wasn't just about winning. It was about facing life and death, with honor, guided by a code that defined an entire culture